Greetings Wargamers, welcome to another video. And this one I want to show, let's say share, just a few ideas with you guys about how to convert, or let's say magnetize characters, metal figures in that case, like my Space Marine Captain and Captain Sicarius, etc. The figure with which I intend to represent my captain is the one of Pedro Cantor, chapter master of the Crimson Fists. As soon as I saw a picture of that figure, I absolutely fell in love with it, because it's just an awesome pose. And yeah, I like to equip my characters, be it a captain or any sergeant, veteran sergeant or whatever, basically just in two ways. When fighting weak armies, like which I consider as weak, is an army which has a majority of unit types that are that have toughness 3, and most of the case just a 5+ armor save. So Eldar, Dark Eldar, also a lot of Eldar field, a lot of aspect warriors which have higher armor save, but the toughness is the same, and it doesn't really matter. The armor save doesn't really matter for him. And tougher armies like Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Necrons, so toughness 4 and a 3+ armor save. The first, against weak armies, Stormbolter is okay, so he's got quite some firepower for that 5+ armor save, which is negated for Stormbolter. And for close combat, I want to give him a relic blade, which is pretty rare. Only chapter masters, generic chapter masters, the captain, the sergeant of the vanguard, and the honor guardsmen, don't know how to call them in English, the retinue of a chapter master. Only these characters can actually equip a relic blade, so that's pretty rare, and it's good. It's perfect against these weak armies, because it has it attacks with strength 6, so it instantly kills any toughness 3 model, and since it's a power weapon, no armor save, so that's perfect for killing Eldar aspect warriors and anything else weak. The other armies, the tougher ones, for these the power fist might come in handy. Power fist and maybe a plasma pistol, whatever. So that's why I want to keep the weapons exchangeable on this one. The right arm is not a problem. I can magnetize this one. I don't know if it's really necessary to cut off. Well, I want to keep the shoulder pad, so I guess I have to cut off the weapon. Nah, it doesn't really work since it has that ammo strap. Yeah, so I might be forced to use a whole new arm for each variant. A new arm with a shoulder pad for a plasma pistol, etc., etc. Instead of just cutting off the hand with a weapon, glue the shoulder part on, and simply exchange the weapon due to that ammo strap, which looks cool. But in that case, it's a setback, but not much of a big deal. For the right arm, I guess I'm cutting off the power fist right below his shoulder pad, and replace it with a short arm with a relic blade, or another, let's say a power claw, depending on which army I'll be fighting and therefore which equipment to use. So that's for my captain. He's supposed to be named Captain Marcellus, as a small reference to my real life name. And it perfectly fits for an ultramarine, because Marcellus is a Roman name, and as I'm sure most of you know, the ultramarines have kind of a Roman gimmick. So, what else? Sicarius, yeah. Let's put him away here. He has a very static pose, and while such a static pose might be appropriate for a few figures like the old Imperial Guard commander, I don't know how, general or whatever, from the old metal command squad who has a monocle and feels in one hand a saber and the other hand he's got on his back. He looks pretty cool, and then put one, let's say two of these limited guardsmen that came out as the new Imperial figures were released a few days ago. You know, those guys who have their laser rifle stuck on the ground and have a very static pose too. The general in an Imperial Guard, I don't know, I wouldn't throw him into close combat. He may have a bit better close combat skill than the regular guardsman. You can equip him with power weapons and power fists, but let's face it, he's still just a human. So with all the new these command rules, all these orders the command squads can give, you're actually better off to put him in the back of your army and just issue orders instead of having him in the front fighting and being killed. However, the Space Marines captain is supposed to be in the very front fighting. So such a pose, I don't know, it's not fitting in my eyes. You can give him two heads, one head without a helmet and one with a helmet, and you've got two options for his for his left hand too. There's a hand holding a helmet, so basically you could give him the helmet here and another helmet in his hand. Pretty stupid, but hey. Or a plasma pistol. And the right hand, the sword, and that little thing, that bucket or whatever. Buckle, not bucket, but a buckle which holds his cape on here. That's one part. I don't like that either. So what I intend to do is grabbing a metal saw and sawing off his shoulder right here. The bad thing is the lower part of the arm is attached to the body too, so I have to cut in here too. Let's say separate the whole shoulder together with the arm from his body, and then simply file it all nice and smooth and replace it, but so that his arm points forward instead of down. So I'll be giving him the plasma pistol. He'll have a shooting pose instead of just having the arm down like it's now. That's way more dynamic. And as for the right arm, I'm going to cut off the buckle and glue it right on here and put the hand with the sword away. Instead, you might recognize these parts. They're from the Assault on Black Reach captain, which I never intended to use as a captain. It's just a pretty cool miniature, and I think it will make an impressive stature. So I'll paint him like stone and put him on a socket or whatever, and it's a cool mission objective or whatever. But I use a sword. And I glue this on right here. Maybe I have to, since Sicario's arm is already modeled in here, I have to cut the lower arm up and just use the hand with the sword and glue it on here. So he's got, I don't know, it's hard to see. It will be a much more dynamic pose instead of the old where he just is holding the sword like this. So yeah, left arm shooting pose, the arm pointing forward, and the right arm not just holding a sword but actually having it looking just more heroic in my eyes. So yeah, that's actually it. We've got another figure here, but that's Sergeant Telion, so you don't have any options with this guy. You don't need to, because he has only one role, one purpose, and he perfectly fits this one. And the other stuff that I've got here is Sergeant Kronos, the tank commander. No need to magnetize anything here. So yeah, these were just my ideas about my captain, magnetizing him and all the various options, and Captain Sicarius, which will be tough. I mean, I've never converted a metal miniature like that. I've never cut off entire parts, so it might have to try out my skills on another figure, which is not as important as this one. On the other hand, I mean, if it fails, I'll buy a new one. and have a nice shoulder pad to use on somebody else, because it's really a great one. Very detailed. But anyway, that's it. These are just a few ideas. Oh yeah, time is almost over. Upper versions, like feeding my captain with a storm shield, was thinking about which to use. Such a that's from Terminator sprues, obviously. Such a small one as the bigger one. I think you can use. What is it? I have to hurry now. Sorry. I think you can use the big one without it looking too awkward. So there's a lot of options to magnetize here. Yeah, that's it. If I ever manage to pull that off, I'll do a separate video. Until then, see ya.